there's quite a lot to unpack, right? And there's only so much I can say about the situation, because obviously I have legal things that have been signed. That means I can't say certain things, and I can't talk about certain things, and you know what, even if I could, to be honest, I don't really want to. But we'll talk about a couple of things, at least. For merchandising, I only had one merchandising sale that hasn't been like fully sent and fulfilled yet, which is my most recent one. It was my birthday, which was last month. Don't worry, if you bought that, they are planning to still fulfill it. Okay, I made sure of that when I had my discussions like 11 days ago. They are still going to fulfill those, so the people who bought the signed posters and stuff, here's a good thing. Almost all of my merchandise, like, I'm sure a lot of you guys probably don't really like VShojo right now, right? And I'm in that boat with you. I get it. But you know the good thing though? All of my merch, I didn't really brand it as VShojo merch. There's not really like a VShojo logo or anything on any of the merchandise. Any of the people who have bought stuff that they haven't received it yet, it will be fulfilled. At least that's what I'm told. The first year of me being in VShojo was a great blast. It was awesome. Everything was so much smoother. The contract was way better than I'd ever had from anything, right? The second year, everything started being a little bit more disjointed. There wasn't as much VShojo collaborations, like full group collaborations. Everyone kind of started doing their own thing, and like not really doing stuff associated with like the name of VShojo. It was more like their own thing. Did you guys notice that on the second year I was in? That's not a coincidence, you know. There's been stuff, right? The one thing I'd say is just a lot of empty promises. So obviously we didn't know about how dire the situation was until very, very recently, right? However, there were problems, right? And the thing is, I feel like a lot of people on the internet, especially in this like VTuber sphere, are very stupid and immature in the sense that when they hear being part of a company and they're like, oh my god, company has bad side, then they just go onto the, then why the hell are you still in the company type of shit. The reason why a lot of us, well, I don't want to speak for everyone, but definitely for some people, including me, to stay, before knowing about this charity thing, by the way, this is before any of that, but for that extra year, it's because we had meetings. We had meetings with Gun and other people talking about like what we don't like and what we want to see improved. And we were told that things were going to improve. We were told that things were going to change. We were told that our stuff was being, you know, took seriously, right? And, you know, the reason I mentioned about the immaturity of the, why don't you just leave that? Because if you have a job, right, in real life, and you're not just like a fucking chronically online little bitch boy, then you know that most fucking companies have downsides, right? And it's very rare that a company will actually talk to you about their downsides and say, hey, you know what, you're right, I am going to change this in the company. So obviously, a lot of people were giving second chances, third chances to the company, extending the period of time where they're still in here. We receive our money directly to our, like us, for like Twitch, right? Like Twitch, YouTube, anything like that. The only thing that we don't receive is merchandising and sponsors. A lot of streamers, they make more money from doing sponsors and merch than actually streaming. That's why so many streamers do try to aim for like a monthly sponsor that just gets them through the whole month or the next 2 months, right? Sponsors are very big, so not being paid them for a long time is kind of a problem. You guys remember when I debuted in 2023? I sold a bunch of merch. I think I had like a shirt, acrylic stand. I got paid for that in June 11th this year. I got paid for that merch from 2 years ago, last month. Maiko really helped with this. He really pushed for getting this. Maiko made a whole spreadsheet, right? Because there was no other things accounting for this. So big W's to Maiko. But it feels really fucking stupid and really almost humiliating to, you know, say all the things that I've said about the company, right? Like, because it's like betrayal, right? It's like, I glazed you, bro. That contract was way better than I'd ever had, right? For something. I still stand by that fact. But the problem is, if you can't fucking provide what the contract says, then the contract means nothing. Once I found out about the charity thing, once I found out about that, I immediately started talking with Mike. I was like, bro, no, I'm out. Like, it's weird as well, because a lot of people in VShojo, like I said, we started doing our own thing. Everyone was doing their own thing, right? And obviously, no one's really communicating with each other that they have problems with their financials. You know what I mean? Because it's their business, right? It's their financials, like other talent, right? It's like my own business. Oh, my payment got delayed? Okay, I gotta, like, I guess that's my business, right? So we weren't communicating this with each other. You know, like, obviously some people would say stuff every now and then, but it wasn't like all the time communicating, like, make sure each one of you all get this. Like, let's make sure they stick to this, because we weren't like that, right? So once this happened, everyone started coming forwards internally, being like, the fuck? Me too, right? You know? It's like, wait, what the fuck? You too? That's when everyone kind of mutually decided, it feels, to be like, all right, nah. And then the charity was like the fucking icing on the cake, bro. It was like, if there was even a shred, even a 0.001%, it's gone after that. You don't fuck with charity, dude. And the thing is, I mean, dude, I can't say everything I want to say, of course, but hypothetically, if a company, hypothetically, that isn't real, took a bunch of that money and then didn't pay it to charity, that is very hypothetically illegal. And not something that I want to be a fucking witness to, hypothetically, right? So, listen, man, I don't want to be like a fucking accomplice in this shit, hypothetically. Hello? I was actually supposed to get my termination contract before Malcy had posted that. I had a meeting, like 10 days ago, or more, way more. I told them, like, I want to leave, I don't agree with any of this stuff, and I want to go. And they were like, we can get that done, like, in a day. Like, and I was like, okay. And then the next day passed, and then another day passed, and then another day passed, and I didn't get my contract, and I was like, okay. I get there was a lot going on, but it just, it fueled my anger a little bit, just because, like, the thing is, guys, I don't ask for much in the company. Like, out of every single person in this company, I think I've probably asked the least. This is the one thing I fucking asked. I just asked, can I have my termination contract? They said, yeah, in, like, the next day or the day after. And I ended up waiting, like, 10 to 11 days with no message, right? And it's like, listen, I have nothing against the guy that was sorting it, right? The guy that was sorting it, fine, whatever. I know there's a lot going on. But I'm just saying that it is very aggravating to kind of be, like, left along continuously to, like, when I was told that it would be done, like, right away.